My Christmas memories from the 1960s include racing slot cars around a grooved track for hours with my brother. And until I saw our next story, I didn't realize fast track fun is still a thing with people my age. In our Sunday morning spotlight, Michelle Fiore highlights the competition and camaraderie found at Lucky Bob's Raceway in Milwaukee.
Go!
To me, this is slot car heaven.
For Gene Saunders, it's 90 miles to get to heaven. He makes the trip to Milwaukee each week from Rockford, Illinois.
I've been hooked. I got hooked in 1968.
Like a lot of slot car racers, all of this takes them back to childhood.
For Christmas, the parents bought an Aurora set, and you set it up on the floor and played around with it.
Rick DeRosa is another Illinois racer who crosses the cheddar curtain each week for Thursday night races at Lucky Bob's.
In the case of tonight, we race 2 minutes per lane, so it's an 8-minute race. At the end of 8 minutes, that's who is the champ for the night.
Halfway through the race.
The wall's lined with awards handed out through the years, but these HO drivers are not in it for prizes, money, or plaques, just bragging rights. So why do you guys do it?
Competition, camaraderie, you get together, you swap stories, you have a good time. Usually we buy pizzas for Thursday night. My wife does not like pizza so much, so I'm all in for pizza.
It's not like a hobby store where you just go and buy stuff and leave. They become your friends.
Bob Phelan opened Lucky Bob's Raceway on Forest Home in Milwaukee in 1996.
We started with two 124th tracks and then one HO track.
Interest in the place really took off. 27 years later, it's grown.
2 124th, 4 HO tracks, and a drag strip. It's just fun to race the cars. I guess you have to try it to see. Guys between 20 and 70, some women, a few.
One of those women is Bob's daughter, Chantel Sather.
So I raced as a kid before he opened this place.
Go!
Which is why Sather says it's not uncomfortable being part of a hobby dominated by men.
10 seconds left.
Still, Sather says it would be nice to see more women in slot car racing.
Yeah, I'm the only one here. When I was in Ohio for the Nationals, there was another one. There was another woman who raced, but it's not a lot.
Sather's in this group photo taken at the HO Professional Racers Association's National Championship held in Ohio last month.
I just lived and breathed slot cars for a whole week.
And this is video from that week.
Once a year we have the big race, and we call it the Nationals. And that's where people from New York, Florida, Arizona, I mean, there was somebody from California that flew in.
So you kind of just get to, put all of like your everyday stuff aside and just kind of be a kid, have fun for a few hours.
Sather showed the guys in this group that competitive slot car racers don't all respond to the title Mr. This Miss placed 4th overall.
I raced throughout the day and kept moving up, and I would move up to the next race and then the next one and then the next one, and then I made the main, so that was very exciting. And I found out afterwards that I was the first female to make a main event at a national event like that, so that was pretty exciting.
Gene Saunders was there too.
Going to nationals and watching some of the other guys that I've never seen race before race, it was an adrenaline rush.
Saunders can't wait to go back, and it'll be a lot less driving for him. Next year's Nationals will be held in Milwaukee.
We take the big track down and set up tables for pit space.
Lucky Bob's also hosted the Nationals in 2019.
So we get underway in Heat 2 of the Lucky Bob's Challenge.
Like I said, some people do dart leagues, some people do pool leagues, bowling leagues. Well, this is the slot car league.
It's drag racers too at Lucky Bob's, and they also introduced us to their world. The slot car hobby can be an expensive one.
All hobbies are expensive, but the HO cars start at about $45 and go up to $300, $400, $500.
Controllers for those cars, about $300. And then there are the replacement parts.
So here's a rear axle setup, and it has a blue gear on it. This would cost about $20 to put in your car.
I could sit in my man cave and my wife would get pissed off at me because I'll sit down there for 5 hours working on a bunch of cars, tearing them completely apart and putting them all back together, or starting with an empty chassis and building it from scratch.
Get my finger down there, George.
What is it about slot cars that keeps you coming back to it?
They're a blast.
Checkered flag. Race over.